Hello friends, welcome to Electronic Circuit Hub. So today we're going to understand about the design and simulation of isolated bootstrapping circuit for high side MOSFET gate driving. Okay, so we're going to understand how you're going to design and how you're going to simulate the high side MOSFET gate driver with the help of bootstrapping circuit. Why do we require bootstrapping circuit? Okay, why it is little tricky to drive the high side MOSFET, we're gonna understand. So driving the low side MOSFET is always easier, but when it comes to the driving high side MOSFET, then it's complex and it is little tricky. How you gonna do that? How you gonna design the high side MOSFET gate driving with the help of bootstrapping technique? I'm gonna explain, and then later I'm gonna run this circuit and I'll show you how this circuit works and how you can design the high side MOSFET gate driver with the help of discrete components. Why do we require isolation in case of MOSFET gate driver? This kind of things we're gonna talk about on in this video. Okay, so let us first understand what is high side MOSFET gate driving. So there is two important terminology. One is high side, other one is low side. And if say the high side, how you gonna differentiate between high side and low side, right? So if you look at this, high side means, always remember these tricks. Okay, so high side means your MOSFET is directly connected to your the VCC or the power rail. I repeat again, what is high side? High side means your MOSFET is directly connected to the your VDD rail or power rail, and then in the source of MOSFET you have connected your load. Here in our case it is R5, right? So this is high side. What about the low side? In low side, high side MOSFET is connected to VDD, and in low side your MOSFET is connected to the ground. That means you have load connected to your VDD and your MOSFET source is directly connected to the ground, and this is only difference between high side and low side MOSFET. Okay, high side and low side. Now when it comes to driving the high side, you have to use different techniques, and when it comes to driving the low side MOSFET, it's very easy. You can easily drive the low side MOSFET. Okay, let's understand the circuit flow. And from this side V1, if you look at this V1 here, so V1 is nothing but what? V1, let's say assume this signal is coming from your microcontroller. Okay, V1 is coming from your microcontroller. Here I have used a pulsating voltage source. So if I right click on V1, so what you can see here is, if I right click on V1, I am using pulse with the on voltage is 3.3, and t on period is 0.8 millisecond, and the total time period is 1 millisecond. Okay, so that means I'm using around 80% of duty cycle. Okay, 80% of duty cycle. For this pulse my duty cycle will remain 80%. Okay, 80%. Now I have used a small series dropping resistor, that is the 100 ohm, to limit the photo current diode current. I did not calculate what is the value here, what is the current value. Just randomly I placed R1, which is 100 ohm, and then this is PC817. This is optocoupler. Why do I require the optocoupler? Optocoupler I need to isolate, let's say, my microcontroller signal to my motor driving signal. Sometime what happens is your microcontroller signal sits a different ground, low side ground or low voltage ground, and your MOSFET you are driving with the high voltage DC. So in this case it is very important to isolate your low side versus high side. So I have used here optocoupler. Okay, I haven't since, if you can ask me the question. Okay, you have used the optocoupler but still your ground is same. Okay, so I do agree my ground is same. What you can do is, from this ground to other ground you can connect 1 mega ohm resistor in simulation, so that will show that okay, now you have isolated ground, and whatever optocoupler you are using it is isolated. Since in LTspice it is not possible, you have to have the same reference. That is why I am using the same ground, but you can use high mega ohm resistance between your optocoupler primary ground and the secondary ground. So that is very clear, right? Now let us understand this part. So as I explained, I'm using 12 volt to drive the 12 ohm resistive load. Here I'm using the MOSFET M1 AO6408. Okay, then MOSFET source is connected via load R5 and then ground, and MOSFET gate is connected. If you look at it is connected the emitter of your optocoupler via 10 ohm resistance, and this D2 is Zener diode. The broke down voltage for this Zener diode is 15 volt, and I'm using this 15 volt to limit the to limit the gate to source voltage of your MOSFET to protect your MOSFET gate, right? So let us understand how this bootstrapping circuit works and what all the components we are using for bootstrapping. It is very important. So if you look at here VDD, so VDD is 12 volt, which is this V2. I have label net name so that the same power supply will go to at this place VDD at the anode of your D1, and then cathode is connected via R2, and that is 47 ohm, and at this junction I have connected this to the collector of your optocoupler, and between this junction to this junction, if you look at my cursor to the load, I'm using one capacitor. So D1 is bootstrap diode, R1 is bootstrap resistor, and C1 is your bootstrap capacitor. So in case of bootstrapping circuit, you required only three important components. Your three important components D1, R2, and C1 in our case, one resistor, one capacitor, and one diode, right? Let us understand now how this circuit works. Very important to understand. So what happens is, let's say your V1 is sitting at logic level 0. Let us understand from the 0. Okay, logic level of V1 is 0. That means your optocoupler is off. Then what is going to happen, since you are not sourcing any voltage to the grid? Okay, so your optocoupler is off. In that case, your M1 is going to off, and there will be a charging path from VDD to D1 to R2 to C1 and via this ground of R5. So at this point of time, your register provides a charge. Register R2 provides a charging path to the C1, and C1 stored voltage across C1 is going to be the VDD, whatever VDD you have. In our case, the VDD value is at the moment 12 volt, right? So what happens when your MOSFET is not conducting at that point of time? Your C1 gets charged. Okay. Now what happens if you apply the high logic on from microcontroller? Then your what is going to happen? Your optocoupler is going to turn on, and then what is going to happen now? You see, C1 is fully charged. It stored the value which is equal to the VDD, and then your diode is going to reverse bias. So it will try to discharge via C1 is try to discharge via collector to emitter of your optocoupler, then R3, and then it goes to the MOSFET gate. The purpose of R4 is only for pull down purpose. Okay, there is no special purpose. Okay, so what happens at this point of time? The store voltage at C1 is 12 volt, and the VDD also is 12 volt. They will double the voltage, which is going to be the 24 volt. I'm going to show you in simulation. So if you measure the voltage now, MOSFET gate to ground, you're gonna see 24 volt. But if you measure the voltage from gate to source, you're gonna see only 12 volt. Okay, so to drive this, since the load store the 12 volt, okay, the voltage across the R5 is going to 12 volt. So if you want to drive this M1 with the 12 volt, at least you require 24 volt. Do you understand what I mean to say? What is your VGS? VGS is nothing but VG minus VS. Okay, so in case of if your VG value is 24 volt minus VS value is 12 volt, you're gonna get VGS is 12 volt, which is very enough to drive this M1. Hope it is clear, guys. Hope you're understanding what I'm trying to say. Okay, so you understood the circuit flow. I'm going to run the simulation and I'm going to show whatever I'm explaining whether it's matching or not. Okay, so let's run the simulation and let's see the behavior of this circuit, how this circuit is working. Okay, so maybe I can tile window vertically. So let's start with here. So what is your input? So your input is a pulse. As I talked about it, so we have the 3.3 volt which is coming from the microcontroller, and with the duty of, understand, duty of 80%, 0.8 millisecond on time and 0.2 millisecond off time, and the frequency, entire frequency is 1 kilohertz. Okay, so now if you look at here at this MOSFET gate to ground, this is signal from MOSFET gate to ground, right? The signal is from MOSFET gate to ground, and if you look at here, 0 to 24 volt, I'm getting MOSFET gate to ground. What is the signal? MOSFET gate to ground is 24 volt. Understand? Now let's look at the signal between MOSFET gate to source. Okay, so what you see here, this is your MOSFET gate to source signal, and this is 12 volt. Okay, so your signal coming from microcontroller is 0 to 3.3 volt. The MOSFET gate to ground signal is 24 volt. You can clearly see that is what bootstrapping function, and the MOSFET between your gate to source is exactly 12 volt. And if you want to see the voltage across the load, that I call it as a V switch. So what is going to be voltage across the load, let's say, is going to be let's see. So let me change this color. Okay, so what you see here, the voltage across your load is 0 to 12 volt. Voltage coming from microcontroller 0 to 3 volt. Voltage between your gate of MOSFET to ground is 0 to 24 volt. Voltage between your MOSFET gate to source is 12 volt, and the voltage between your source to load, your source to ground, are across the load resistance, it is again 12 volt. And that is how you see your MOSFET is perfectly working, your bootstrapping circuit is perfectly working. It is stepping up the voltage with respect to ground from 12 volt to 24 volt, so that it will maintain the constant gate to source voltage, which is going to be 12 volt. Okay, hope you are following me, hope you are understanding. And that is how you can design the bootstrapping circuit with the help of discrete component. Even you can maintain the isolation. Okay, hope you understand this. If you have any question on this, feel free to ask me in comment section. Thanks for watching this video.